Hey guys, it's Deborah. So, I want to talk to you about something that just happened to me, and it's pretty encouraging and really interesting. It's about, I will call it timestamps to the rapture. Timestamps. Um, so, the reason I say this is because I've seen on YouTube, and it's happened to me now, where people have been shown their life. I'm not talking about some, looking into the future, weird thing. I'm just saying people have been shown their life. I guess it is a form of looking in the future, but not in some weird way, through the Lord, have been shown their life to a certain timestamp in their life in the future when praying about the rapture. So, this is going to be just podcast style. I'm just going to be talking. This is this is not super planned. I knew I wanted to talk about this. I prayed on it, but I don't have a plan, and it's just podcast. So I'm not going to show anything. I have a little picture on the screen showing, the door, and that's what we're waiting for, the door to heaven to open. Jesus is the door, and into the picture shows everything gray and dingy. That's like this earth right now into our new heavenly home. So, which will be vibrant and amazing. So anyway, just podcast style. Sorry. All right. So I will call this, like I said, timestamps into the future. And these timestamps only bring you so far. Now, I'll explain what I mean. So if you guys follow my videos, I have talked to you about a few dreams I've had. I have not had plenty of dreams. I've had some. I've always been a bit unsure how much weight I can put on dreams and visions and stuff like that. A lot of the times I just keep praying on them and I wait, because some of them, it's like you can't know 100% they're from God until they come true. Like you feel kind of like they are, and some are really not from God. So, you can pray on these things, and there's some ways you can know. For instance, I had told you guys about a dream that I had where the friend who brought me to Christ in my teens. So I have a friend, she brought me to Christ when I was in my teens. She passed away when we were in our late 20s or 30. And I had a dream a couple years back where I saw myself and I was at a job. I don't have a job, or didn't have a job at the time. And I'll tell you more about the job situation, but I didn't have, I was a stay-at-home mom, no plans on going to a job. And I saw myself leaving an office or a workplace of some sort. I opened the door and I knew I had no ride home. I had no way to get home. I had no car. And I was like, oh, how am I getting home? I better call someone. And then my friend who led me to Christ in my teens, who passed away when we were in our 20s or 30, about 30, she came to my work and said, I'm here to bring you home. I'm going to bring you home. And I was like, great. So that was the end of the dream. These are the kind of dreams are from God, because one, that was, okay, so at first you could say, well, that was just a dream, whatever. But the interpretation was immediate, and I knew it was the dead in Christ bringing me home, meeting me in the air to take me home. I can't even make those things up. Those are the kind of things where you're like, okay, I got the interpretation, I got the whole thing. It just made sense. And other ones, you're kind of not sure, you're wondering. But I have told you guys that I think at least 2 to 3 different dreams in my household between me and my kids have come true, literally come true. Things that should not have happened have come true. So it's like God showed us a timestamp of our future. So the reason I bring this up is because I had prayed about 4 months ago. I didn't tell you guys, but I had prayed about 4 months ago. Please, Lord, can you show me a glimpse of my life around the time of the rapture? Now, he doesn't have to show me that. I just asked. And I was hoping to see my kids, because I knew if I saw my kids, I would know how soon, because kids grow so fast that for instance, if I just saw me, I could be the age I'm at now, or I could be 10 years from now. I could be 15 years from now, because you don't change your looks that much usually between say 30 and 60, 30 to 55 or 60. You kind of keep looking somewhat similar. So if he showed me, I'd be like, oh, great. When is that? 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, what? But I was hoping I'd see my kids. And it's I can't trick God. He knew. So I prayed. I asked God this about 4 months ago. Can you show me a glimpse of my life around the time of the rapture? And he gave it to me immediately. So all I know is I was sitting on my bed, I prayed it, and then all of a sudden a vision came in my mind. And it was something I was not thinking about. So I'll tell you what I saw. So this is about 4 months ago, like I said. I saw myself bending down and rubbing a dog on his belly. Okay. And I'll tell you exactly what the dog was. Because I really wanted a Bernese Mountain Dog, but I needed to get a combination of a Bernese Mountain Dog and a poodle, and because of allergies and stuff, so it was called a Bernedoodle. So it looks like a Bernese Mountain Dog with a bit curlier hair. So that is what I've wanted for a really long time for the family. God has never given me the allowance to, like, he's never said I can. Every time I've tried, something has gone horribly wrong, or he's really said to me, you can't have this dog, all these different things. Anyway, so I've never gotten one. And I'm like, well, with the rapture, I mean, I know a lot of people get pets and they think they'll be raptured or whatever they think. I personally am way too afraid of this dog getting left behind. And I don't know how this all works. Like, nobody can guarantee me a pet is going in the rapture. Like, nobody. I don't know how it works. I'm not saying they can't go. I literally am just, it's a thing for me. I care about animals a lot. But it's also God won't let me. Every time I ask, he's like, no. So anyway, I see myself in this vision rubbing this dog on the belly. And it looks like, if you guys know what a Bernese Mountain Dog is, it has like black on the outside, then has some brown on it, and then it has like white along the face and nose, and then down the belly is all white. And this is what I saw. And I knew it was a young dog, like a juvenile, an older puppy or something like that. So, but not a small puppy, but like an older puppy. Anyway, so I saw myself doing that. I said, show me a glimpse of my life around the time of the rapture. And I saw myself doing that. Now, I was not thinking about this. I didn't think he'd show me that. I'm like, what? And so, I don't know, could that be from the enemy? Was that my brain? I mean, it would be weird if it was my brain, because I was not thinking about it. So I saw that and I was like, oh, what? Why am I rubbing a dog? And God, you never told me I can have one, even though I asked. And another thing is, when I was looking at these type of dogs, I saw a lot that didn't look like that. Because when you combine like a poodle with a Bernese Mountain Dog, you get all these different colors. And I knew the type of dog I saw looked like a Bernese Mountain Dog in the vision, but I hadn't, like, when I had looked for dogs here and there, just hoping the Lord would let me have one, I didn't find one that looked just like that. It was kind of like my favorite look. But anyway, I'll explain how it came true. So he said, this is what I saw when I asked about my life close to the rapture. Then I knew my kids were behind me. And remember, I wanted to see my kids because I was like, oh, then I can see how old they are. But it's like they were blurred. Like, I could see me, when you have your camera lens where you're in focus and it's like a blurred background, it's like that's how it was. And I knew they were behind me. And I was just patting this dog, and he was on his back, and I was doing his belly, like rubbing his belly. So that's what I saw. So I kind of put it aside because I'm like, what was that? Why? I asked you about the rapture and I see me patting a dog. So then months pass, and so months pass anyway. So here we are now. So about maybe like 2 weeks ago, I had an opportunity to actually get this exact dog. Okay. I won't get into all the details. A Bernedoodle, Bernese Mountain Dog look, this whole thing. And it was a puppy. Now, I did not feel peace about getting this dog. I just really wanted it. Nothing in me felt peace about it. When we went to go visit him, my one twin freaked out and had this whole meltdown thing and screaming and everything, whatever. And we had to turn around and we couldn't even go. Like, it was so random for her to just do this. So my point is, there was a lot of red flags, but I still proceeded. It was within like about a week. It wasn't like I was proceeding for years on end trying to whatever, but I prayed and prayed, still never felt real peace about it, but I was just so frustrated. I was like, well, hey, I saw it in the vision. I was like, this dog fits it. I saw it in the vision. So it's kind of like making it come true. But actually, I don't think I even thought about the vision at the time. Yeah, no, sorry. Because the vision had happened months ago. This last couple of weeks when I started this, I wasn't thinking about the vision. I was just thinking about, a dog came into my opportunity life and I want to take this opportunity. So I was just thinking, maybe the Lord will have mercy and let us keep this dog or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So 4 days ago, was it 4 days ago? We got the dog. Okay, we got the dog. He's a puppy, and he looked smaller than in my vision, but exactly the same as the vision. And then it was just a few days ago, I bent down and he rolled on his back. It was a very hectic time with the puppy. I say was because I don't have the puppy anymore, and I'll explain. So it was a very hectic time. If you guys know, with a puppy, it's like crazy. You don't sleep and all the things. So basically, I just looked at the clock. I'm recording this video at 11:11 in the afternoon. That's when I'm recording this video. I just looked at the clock randomly. It's 11:11. All right. Anyway, so I bent down. I was not thinking of the vision. So that's something that I should mention again. I was not thinking of the vision when I got this puppy and none of this stuff. It's like it almost just came to me. I bent down and he rolled on his back and I started rubbing his belly. And it's like I saw myself. I literally was living the vision. You might say, well, you made it come true or whatever. But it's like, yeah, it had to come true. But I wasn't thinking about it as I was doing it. It's only at that moment when I bent down to rub his belly. And remember, 4 months ago, I thought this was not going to happen. I did not see myself with a puppy or a dog or anything. And here I am, and it's the exact dog. This reminds me a bit of Joseph, his dream, where he saw his brothers bowing down to him. He didn't see himself in Egypt under the Pharaoh. He just knew somehow his brothers will bow down to him. Dreams aren't always specific. They're a lot of times symbolic, so I didn't see, like I said, the dog looked a little older. So I don't know what that was about, but it was the same dog. And that's why I don't think it's always perfect how it is. Like, it's not always perfectly, you get a glimpse. Like I said, Joseph didn't see himself exactly in, under Pharaoh doing when they're bowing down. He just knew they would bow down to him. Or it was symbolic because I think he saw corn stalks or wheat bending down, or stars. I have to look at that dream. But the point is, it wasn't obviously exact. So it's like I had an aha moment. I bent down to do the dog's belly and I was literally living the vision. I was like, oh, this is the vision. So anyway, long story short, I never felt peace. I never felt peace about the whole puppy situation. We had him for about 3 days, and the family was just overwhelmed with, like, I have a lot going on in my house, and the family was not doing well with the whole situation. I'll just leave it at that. And then I was like, Lord, I've kind of gotten attached, even though it's only been 3 days. And the situation I had was a trial. I should tell you, it was somebody who was a Christian, a kind person who wanted to see if this dog would fit with our family. And they knew, that's why I said an opportunity came. They knew that it was a possibility that it wouldn't work. The puppy came from a farm. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just giving a puppy away. We knew it was just a trial. And literally the trial, I knew after 1 day it wasn't a good idea. I just knew after 1 day, but we couldn't figure anything out until about 2 more days passed. Anyway, I prayed about it and I said, God, so how's this going to work? Should I just say, okay, no, it didn't work out. Bring a puppy back to the farm, whatever. And God made this amazing thing happen. And I'm just not going to get into it because it's kind of this long story and personal and everything. He literally made the most amazing scenario happen. Life for this puppy. The puppy is now with his sister or a litter mate. And it is just the most amazing opportunity. And instead of us, we were going to have to drive like 2 hours to bring him home. And the situation came, we didn't have to drive 1 minute. We actually kind of made money out of the situation. It's just this crazy, God just did amazing thing. He gave me so much grace because he could have been like, hey, I told you not to get this puppy. I told you it wasn't going to go this way. I'm angry at you, which sometimes there are repercussions to disobedience. But this time he was like, I'm going to give you grace. And it was like this abundance of grace. So the whole scenario, so I don't have the puppy. The whole scenario went well, but it left me with the vision coming true. And what was my prayer? Show me my life around the time of the rapture. Does that mean today is the rapture? No. I mean, yes, maybe it could be, but what it means is he showed me, I believe, a glimpse, unless I'm going to eventually get another puppy and have that happen again, which I guess could happen. I literally lived it out. And I know this may seem not huge to you guys, but it was a timestamp. I saw a timestamp of my life. I heard another girl on YouTube and she asked God, she said she prayed for like months or a year or something. Please, God, show me anything about her life in the time of the rapture. And God showed her adopting 2 little girls. She had no kids, her and her husband, adopting 2 little girls. And he showed her a calendar and it said August 2022. And this, she had this flash vision back in like 2019 or something like that. So, every year you're like, there's no way we're going to be here in 2 years or whatever. She saw her life 2 years later, and she told some people on YouTube, and they, it made people upset because it's like, well, we're not going to be here in 2 years. And here we are. So my point is, I'm not trying to discourage anybody. My point is, she saw herself in 2 years. I saw myself, that was only 4 months ago. 4 months ago, and I got a timestamp of my life, and it happened. So my point is, this girl who had this, who asked God to show her about her life during the rapture, he gave her a timestamp, but it was 2 years later. Now, he could have, if the rapture and the tribulation is not going to happen for 100 years, no, 20 years, he could have shown herself old in some old age home. Maybe he wouldn't do that for his own personal reasons. But if you're praying about something and then he shows you your life, he's probably going to show you close to that time period. That's the point, because that's what you prayed. If you ask for bread, is he going to give you a stone? So the point is, she's in the process of adopting 2 little girls. She had no prospect of that happening at all when she asked. And then 2 years later, it happened. It happened. So what I'm trying to say is, God seems to be giving people timestamps. Now, here is the interesting thing. I have not seen people give timestamps of their life where they are like way older or something like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I've heard other people say, oh, I saw this happen in my life. I don't know when it's going to happen. And then the rapture happened. Or I was praying about when the rapture is going to happen, and I was shown a vision and I saw myself. Now, I don't know if God just doesn't like to show people themselves super old way long later, but from what I'm seeing is he's showing people's timestamps around the rapture, and it's never super far off. They look like they look now. Now, I can't speak to everybody for everybody's dream. I just wanted to share this because 3 dreams have come true. This is the thing. I've been very skeptical of dreams and visions. I know they are a thing of the end times, and they are going to happen, and they are real. But I've been concerned because I've never really been into dreams, and also you can be led astray by them. I mean, they can be used for the wrong purposes. So I have always been just cautious of it, but he has really confirmed for me. I mean, they've literally come true. There's been at least 3 things that have happened that I dreamt, and my one child has dreamt, that have actually come true. And I've shared this on YouTube before. So if they've literally come true, I mean, they're true, but you can say, well, what good is it? So they came true. So what? What it is one, encouragement that you're hearing from the Lord and they're real, like he's showing you the future. And 2, this one, I literally asked to see my life around the time of the rapture. Like, I literally asked that. And then I saw myself doing that. And months later, the thing literally happened. And I always try to say to you guys, like, these dreams and visions and stuff like that, they're things that I don't think can happen or will happen. Now, back to my job. Like, I saw myself at a job and it actually came true. The thing about the job, and I decided to resign from that position. It was an amazing position, but that's a long story. The thing about that job is it was rushed. So it could be just like the puppy. I don't know if it's going to be the same scenario, but I knew, when God's telling you don't. I applied for a job. I didn't think I'd get a job, but it was rushed, and I just knew, like, I fasted on it too. And the Lord told me, this is not the job. So, there's a couple things like, okay, I think I told you guys that I've bought a house. Now, it was something I didn't think I could do. We could do. It was not a thing I thought we should or could do. And we bought a house, and, I had let it go and given it to God that we were not going to be able to buy a house. And then all of a sudden, miraculously, someone gave us something to be able to buy a house. So I was like, okay, that was completely God. So we rushed. And I remember the Lord, I felt like saying to me, wait. And I rushed. So, and I have reasons for rushing. I didn't just rush for the sake of rushing. Many things I jump into, it reminds me of kind of like Abraham. He had waited so long, for a son. And so he tried to do the whole thing and had Ishmael. So like he tried to rush it and it worked out. He got him. Now, I think God has shown me a few things in my life I've rushed, and partially I get scared that with these dreams, I try to make them come true. But if I do that, he always unwinds it and undoes it and then does it his way, but there are sometimes consequences and sometimes there's grace. So for me, I don't know if I've rushed this puppy situation, but I almost think it's not going to happen. And that because I've come to terms with that. I don't think in our stage of life and with our situation of life, I even want a puppy. So that's kind of out. So a grown dog, maybe, but I definitely don't want a puppy. So I don't know, maybe the dog looked older. So maybe this was a rushed decision, but it still was a timestamp. Like I literally saw my life, me doing this and me having that job and leaving it. It did confuse me. I'm like, well, I've left the job. So now what is going on? I think a couple things have been rushed, but it's like he's shown me this will happen. These things will happen. They are going to happen. So whether this happened too fast and it wasn't the actual fulfillment, I don't know, but it's not far off. If it is going to happen, it is going to happen again soon. I just know it. And so I'm not sure if this was a timestamp of this, how close the rapture is, or that it's going to happen again very soon. So the job, I am going to get another one, most likely quite soon. That's one thing that came true. The house, I think I told you guys that, yeah, I wasn't able to buy a house. I saw myself in a dream walking into a new house. And I remember my exact words were, wow, this is a miracle. I'm kind of jumping all over with the different dreams and visions, but you know, a lot of you guys have heard a lot of this before. This is just a vlog style or blog or podcast or whatever, not vlog, it's a podcast where I'm just talking. So anyway, the house, I think told you guys that I have moved. This is my sixth house, not my owning sixth house. This is my second house I've owned. And while moving, this is the sixth house me and my family have lived in. So there is something interesting I want to share with you guys about the seventh house. I guess I'll just put a little video in. I don't know if I'm going to do, yeah, I think I'll put a little video in. Hourly Watch did a little talk on the seventh house. And you know what? That might make this video too long. Let me just explain it super quick. There was a planetary thing that happened in the sky recently, and I believe it might have been on 11/11, where one planet went into the seventh house. Go check out Hourly Watch's last video. And it was about something moving into the seventh house, okay? And in my dream, I moved into a better house than I'm in now. So I was confused, but this is my sixth house. So my seventh house is either heaven, what I saw, and I knew again it was the time of the rapture, or it was just a new house that I'm going to get. So, okay, so I just want to sum this up. So in Hourly Watch's video, if you go to his channel, his last video, he talks about this planetary system going into the seventh house, and then someone had a word, like they said they had a word from the Lord. You could check out his video. In the video, sorry, I'm getting a message here. If you heard that, I'm not sure. In the video, there was a prophecy a man had. I think Blue Heaven, her name is Gigi from Blue Heaven. I think she also posted that. I don't know, but it was on Hourly Watch's video. And it was a man, he gave a prophetic word, and he said, when you see, pray on it, because I don't just believe everything, but this is what he said. When you see, I think it's the planets or something, I'm misquoting, go into the seventh house, I am at the door. And that made me think of this little picture I have on my screen. He said, when you see, I don't remember the exact wording, I think a planet or something go into the seventh house, I am at the door. Now that just happened. That literally just happened. This planetary thing where one planet's going into the seventh house just happened. Again, you can check out that video. I'll even link it. I'll link it and I'll put it in the pinned comments. So at the top, in the pinned comments, I will put the video where it talks about this seventh house. Now, like I said, in the dream, this is another dream, which I thought came true because we were able to buy a house, but it's my sixth house and it's not what I saw in the dream. It's not as good. It's small. Like the other one was a bigger house. And so was that heaven, my seventh house, or was it a real house? All this stuff is pointing at around now. This job, I said my daughter saw herself go to public school. She never goes to public school. And she saw herself doing this. She had a whole dream. I won't get into it. I still homeschool the other kids, but the point is she saw that around the time of the rapture. She saw herself going up a tall tower. I just heard Wayne Fowler had a dream where he went up a tall tower and it was like the type of the rapture, they've had very similar dreams. He was on a bus, she was on like a bus or something like that. It was a very similar dream. The point is, it's yet another thing that has come true. This is the thing that I keep saying, is these things have come true. And I think partially it's how God's encouraging me and encouraging you guys through me, because he knew I doubted dreams and visions. Like, I didn't know what to do with them. I'm like, okay, great. Now what? Like, I had this. Now what? Some of them are self-explanatory, and some of them are rebukes and warnings, and some of them are other things. But my main ones have been seeing a timestamp of my future life. I've never had that happen before that I can recall, seeing myself in the future. So I want to encourage you guys, because anyone I've heard who said, I saw the rapture happen and I was here or there or whatever, some of these people are in position. They are in position where they saw themselves, okay? I know at least 2 people who had rapture dreams who moved, and they now live where the dream took place. All right, so they didn't have plans at the time of the dream to move to this place. One person, it was a different state, and one person, it was a different region of a state. The point is, more than one person have had rapture dreams and did not live where they had the dream. Then they moved there. Actually, I think 3. Now I think of somebody who moved to a different country. I think maybe 3 people, 2 to 3 people are literally in position right now for liftoff. Let's just put it that way. They're in position. Now, my life is, you could say, in position. Let me say, the house. I never thought I could get a house, bought a house. So that is a checked off. Is this the right house? It's not the 7th house. Is this the right house? I don't know. Maybe the 7th house is heaven. So if the 7th house is heaven, then check. Yes, I'm in position. My daughter saw herself in a public school. Never thought that would happen. Made no sense. Wasn't going to put her in a public school. Made no sense at all. God told me and her, she is to go to this public school. And she would not, trust me, she would not go to a public school. She would be like, Lord, that girl really waits on the Lord. So she would not, she's not even as jumpy as me, where I jump into things and make mistakes. She's very cautious, and she just listens, and all that stuff. So she felt so much peace about it. She still feels peace about it. She still does. And we both do. Did I feel peace about the puppy? No. Did I feel peace about moving so fast? No. Now, I don't know if that means I'm not in position yet, or what it means is God showed me my mistakes. He showed me, yes, you're going to have a puppy. I didn't tell you to have one, but you wanted to see your life in and around the rapture. You got a puppy. Just because the puppy's gone, that doesn't mean the timestamp's over. He just showed me my life. He showed me in disobedience, I guess. It wasn't like a sin, but we're supposed to be following the Holy Spirit. He's supposed to guide your life and your decisions. And I know people don't fully get that, a lot of Christians, and I didn't at first. I just lived my life. I didn't sin. Everybody sins, but I wasn't like living in habitual, unrepentant sin, but I wasn't asking God his opinion. Hey, should I do this? Hey, should I do that? Hey, should I go to school here? Hey, should I date this person? Hey, I just did the things. As long as they check boxed the things, like they're not evil. Okay, I did them. Now I'm more like Enoch, where he was like walking with the Lord. You ask him questions instead of just doing whatever you want. Hey, should I move to this city? Oh, I'm just going to move there. No, ask, right? So even if it's not a bad thing, and I asked about the puppy and he said no, and I still got him. So, and then he showed me a timestamp. Now, again, okay, let's go back to, is my life set up? So the school for my daughter, check. The house could be a check. The timestamp of seeing myself with that dog could be a check. The work. Now, it could be a check if it wasn't a physical job. If I saw myself being picked up from work, because in my daughter's vision, she was running relay at this public school. She doesn't run relay right now. She could. She's really athletic and stuff, and she could and might in the spring. But then again, it's pointing at the spring because you cannot run relay in the winter. So was it that she was just running a race? I've talked about her dream before, and you can see it on past videos, but she was running a race. Sorry for anybody new. She was running a race, but in the dream, the point is, she can't physically run this race right now, but we are running a race. So it could be symbolic. That part we don't know, just kind of like Joseph. Now, I think God leaves it like that. So it's a little bit, the mystery. So for me, am I at my job? I quit. Am I planning to get another one? That's the plan, but I don't know. Um, I was hoping to do Patreon and kind of be able to stay home with the kids and not have to go out to work and to kind of like help that way and like entertain you guys and that kind of stuff. I don't know if the Lord's going to allow all that. I don't know that's how it's going to go. I don't know if I'm going to have a physical job outside the home. I'm not sure. I know I don't now. But it could be that I'm working here. I'm talking with you guys. I'm sharing things with people in the world. I'm physically working for the kingdom. And also, obviously, homeschooling and being a, stay-at-home mom and wife. So I'm working. And could that be my job? So it could still be a check. When it comes to, so then we have the house, could be a check, the job, the school, and then the puppy. That was the last thing that's the only other thing that I think I remember. And these all things where I saw timestamps of my life in the future. Now, could it be that I need to actually move into a physical, bigger house, the seventh house? Yeah. Then that means that, and just letting you know, guys, this is my plan for the spring or soon. This was a tied over house. It's very small. It was kind of like, just get in the market and, whatever. And I'm not planting roots on this earth. Trust me, I'm not. It's just, I have to lead. This is what God kind of like, this is like the path I feel like I was led to be on. Am I going to get another dog? It looked a little older, but I know it was young. My friend told me that older dogs don't really roll on their back to get their belly rubbed because a lot of times they have arthritis and stuff like that. So I could at least know the age of the dog. And I could tell it was young, either a puppy or like a juvenile, but it was bigger than the one I had, but looked exactly the same. So am I going to get another one? I mean, I have no intentions. God did not tell me to do that. It would have to literally be brought to me, like literally fall in my lap, which could happen. But these are the things where I'm not sure because some of the things have happened almost like 50%, or if you look at them symbolically, they've happened fully. I mean, I got the dog, I was rubbing the belly, God brought to my mind, it's like he brought back to my mind, remember your vision? You're doing it right now. You're living it. So, yeah, and that prophecy, when this planet or whatever, I'll link it, goes into the seventh house, then I'm at the door. So I just want to like encourage you guys that things are set up. It's like everything's in place and things are set up. People have seen visions and dreams of their life close to the rapture. And I told you that one girl, she's in position. She has the two little girls. She saw herself 2 years prior with no children. And then all of a sudden she was going to adopt. And she did. It's not like she had babies. She literally adopted two girls that she saw. So, I can't validate everything, if she's 100% being honest and all these things. Like, I know her life is what it is now. I don't know. All I can say is this is what I heard. And I've heard, like I said, several people say I was living here. I was in this state or town. And I mean, I have provinces. Obviously, I'm Canadian, but a lot of people mostly on YouTube are American. They've said I've been in a certain state or sometimes a country or whatever. And they not on purpose moved to that place or move to that location. And it's like they didn't move there with the intention. It's just like me with the dog. They didn't do it saying, I'm going to fulfill this. They did it because the opportunity came about. And then afterwards, it came to their mind, I'm living that now, what I saw. It's like Joseph. When his brothers bowed down to him, I'm sure in his mind he thought, my dream. It took so long, but my dream is coming true. It's real. And that's how we're going to feel, at the time of the rapture with so many things is that after so long, after so much waiting, which it's really not as long as, we're just really impatient society, super impatient. Like Noah was building the ark for like 120 years. So, but it still feels really long and we'll be like, it's happening. It's now. And I've told you guys, it's kind of like a test when the teacher says, put your pencils down. You're writing, like an exam when it's really, really, really long hours. You think you have so much time and you've done so much. And by the end, you're just exhausted and you're kind of like doing it lazily because you're just so tired. And then you hear 5 minutes left, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, pencils down. And you can't change anything. That's going to define your future for that course. Could be for a lot of things, your job, a lot of things. Depends if you're in university or whatever. So the point is, what you do now matters. And when the time's up, it will feel like it was so short or it was faster than you thought it was going to happen, even though it's longer. It feels longer at the time, but then after, it's always looking back. They say when you have kids, the days are long, but the years are short, meaning, People are always like, oh, time just flies by and oh, my days just fly. And I used to think with young kids, my day's not flying. It's very long and exhausting and I'm tired. But then when the years pass, you look back and you're like, whoa, my kid is like big now. So basically that's how it's going to be. So I'm sorry, I talked really, really long, but I just wanted to share this stuff with you guys that I literally 4 days ago lived out a vision I had, and I asked it about 4 months ago. So, yeah, it happened. And yeah, your comments are welcome. So there's that. And like I said, many people are set up. Many people are in the life they saw they'd be in around the time of the rapture, or in the place. And they didn't do it because they were making it happen. They were doing it. They knew probably in the back of their mind, hey, this is kind of like, what I saw. But at the same time, they needed a place to live, or maybe they switched jobs, or whatever the thing happened and they had to do the thing. For me, with this dog situation, an opportunity came up that I didn't expect. Now, God knew that he had mentioned not to do this thing. So I don't think I'm going to end up with that dog, because like I'm wondering, oh, will it happen again? Like in God's timing. I just don't think so, but I don't know. I really don't know. It doesn't fit our family right now. Yeah, it doesn't really fit our family. So I think that was the vision coming true. I could be wrong, but it felt like it was. But again, he could make it come true in his own time, in his own way. Just like there was Ishmael, but then there was Isaac. Isaac still came. It wasn't like God said, well, you had Ishmael, so I'll make Ishmael the chosen child. He said, no, my way is still going to happen. You built had, sorry, I was thinking of the third temple when I said built, because I'm thinking, they're going to build a third temple, but it might be some like the way they build it for the Antichrist to be in and stuff like that. And, God's like, there will be another temple, but it'll be built with my hands in my time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure, I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking he's going to tear down the temple that the Antichrist defiled and then build like a new one in the millennial reign, but whatever. The point is, Isaac still came along. So will I still get this dog? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense and I don't see how, but I'll definitely let you guys know. But at this point, it seems like that vision came true. And that's what I asked. And like I said, the kids were blurred out. So he knew in the back of my mind, that's what I was looking to see. Yeah. So a lot of people are in place. I don't know if anybody else has seen anything where they're like, yeah, I was like 80 years old in a retirement home and I'm only 20 now. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't think God would really do that anyways. But even if, no, I don't think God would show you way, way, way in the future. But a lot of people have asked, around the time of the end days or the rapture, just anything about my life. And he surprises you. He'll show you something and you're like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. You might have a plan, like the girl who saw herself with the two adopted children. She probably thought maybe he'll show me I moved a new house, or maybe he'll show me, working at a job or something like that. But no, he surprised you. He's like, I show you have two kids. And, she was probably like, what? And for me, he shows me rubbing a dog. Like that was not on my mind. So he surprises you and he could show you something where it's like, I just didn't see that coming. And then you really know that must be God. Like that just wasn't even on my mind. So, and it came true. The thing too is all these things in my life are coming true really fast. Like it's within like a year and just under, or just maybe, has it been like about a year, max 2 years, but I think a year since all of the things, maybe 2 years, have come to pass. It's very fast. So I think what he's showing me is like time is really short, because he has to fulfill these things fast, because he's showing me them very close to their fulfillment. Anyway, so let me know what you think. I hope that encouraged you guys. I know it's kind of like all over. It was just me chatting, just encouraging you guys. But literally, the thing happened. It came to pass. And also, there's now about 4 things in my life that have literally happened. Have they been fulfilled in the right way, in the Isaac way, or was it the Ishmael way? I don't know that part. I'm not sure, but there is nothing stopping. I have seen nothing that hasn't happened yet. I think there was someone else who said they saw maybe Russian and Chinese soldiers in the US, and they said, well, that hasn't happened yet, so I know we're not there yet, something like that. But we're so very close that in those kind of things, you don't know if you saw a glimpse of the tribulation or whatever. I know I heard somebody say that before. But as to personal life, you can let me know in the comments. Are there things that God has shown you in your personal life that haven't happened yet? Like, did he show you, oh, you're going to have like a baby or something, and you don't have this baby, or I don't know, something, it'd be interesting. And yeah, that doesn't, just because it hasn't happened, that doesn't change everything. I don't think so. I'll have to see what people say in the comments. Because again, the enemy can give you dreams and show you things. Your brain can show you things. And everybody who makes comment, like, I don't know where their relationship is with the Lord. I can tell you, I'm telling you about things that literally have come to pass. I've shared dreams and things like that haven't come to pass just to share them. But you really, really never 100% know. I mean, you can't 100% know if it's from God unless it comes to pass, or he gives you like a massive interpretation that you just couldn't think of. Something, there has to be a conclusion. Joseph didn't know if his brothers were ever going to bow to him. I mean, he trusted God. I'm sure he had faith, but I mean, it's a dream. So sure, like at a certain point, maybe things started to become more clear to him when he was like reigning and ruling, but still, he probably was still wondering, I don't know, but I'm thinking in his mind, hey, are my brothers going to bow to me? Like, are people going to bow to me? Is that going to actually happen? And it actually did. So, I think I'm showing you that I have credence because things have come true. Like some of the things have literally come true. Even if you just look at the fact that buying a house is a huge endeavor, I had no way to do it and I did it. So even if this is not the seventh house, I'm in the market, and again, this is not about that. Trust me, I'm just trying to follow the Holy Spirit. So yeah, that's that. Let me know if there's anything that happened to you guys. This was really long, but I think that's all right to just talk. Sometimes you just need that. You're driving and you're listening to somebody talk that is like-minded. You're washing the dishes, you're whatever you're doing at work, if you can listen to stuff while you're at work. And it's just a like-minded person talking about the same kind of things, because we're kind of spread out all over the world, and then it gets a little bit lonely that way. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to update you on some of the Patreon stuff soon. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I was going to do some interviews and different things on Patreon. I'm completely still doing this channel. It's not about that. It's about me seeing if this is a way that I don't have to leave the house for work and just have a community, but you do not have to do anything. Nothing is forced, and you can still come check out this channel for free. But I'll give you more information soon. And also, I am reading the comments. It has helped me a lot to not reply, because unless I feel like I absolutely have to, but please know I'm reading the comments and I care, and I'm appreciative and everything, because I know you guys might be seeing I'm not responding. It's because I feel if I respond to one person, I literally feel like I have to respond to everybody. That's just how I am. So I can get more out to you guys if I'm not responding. I feel less like this is going to be a huge thing in my life where I'm going to be sitting there for hours responding to everybody's comments. And I just don't like to just do sporadic. So unless it's something like I really need to say something or whatever. So I am reading, and thank you. And I appreciate your comments, and I think about the things you say. And if it's really weird or crazy, I try to delete it or block the person. If it's like, I try to keep the comments a safe place and a good place. I may miss a few. So yeah, I did set up an email. I really have to check it more often, but it's speakingtruthinlove@outlook.com. Speakingtruthinlove@outlook.com. I really got to check that. So if you've emailed me, I'm sorry. I haven't checked it in a while, but I'm going to go in and check it. If it's something that's like really important. So yeah, there's that. And I think that's it. So I hope that encouraged you guys. Things are all set up. Everything's in place. And I did pray that prayer, and it did literally happen 4 days ago or a few days ago. Oh, whoa. Listen to this. I got the puppy on 11/11. That should have been a red flag. I don't know if it's a good flag. There's some good verses about 11/11, about stepping into the promised land, some good things. And then there's some bad ones. All right. So I don't know. I got the puppy on 11/11. Oh, and listen to this. I told you guys this before. I bought the house on May 14th, Israel's birthday. I literally bought the house on Israel's birthday, and I moved in on America's birthday, July the 4th. So God cares about dates. He cares about names. He cares about numbers. I don't care what people say. People are like, oh, he cares about planets. He cares about these things. He puts them in the book. There's a book called Numbers. He cares about numbers. He cares about the planets, and there's verses on that. He cares about our names. He cares about dates. He cares about these things. So these things, we're not being all weird. It's a thing. So I bought the house on May 14th, Israel's birthday. I moved in on July 4th, America's birthday. And USA is in Jerusalem. They're connected. Okay. And then I buy the puppy on 11/11. I didn't buy him. I brought him home on 11/11. And I was like, I don't know what to think about this. And I knew by 11/12, I knew by November 12th that there was some problems. There was some real problems, you know? He was great. He was amazing, beyond amazing. But yeah, when God showed me that vision, I didn't know if it was a promise. He was like, "See, I've blessed you with a dog." But he never told me he was going to I never got the peace about having one prior to the rapture. I never really got the peace. Maybe I will later, but I haven't. So I was like, "But God, why'd you show me patting a dog when you haven't even given me peace to have one?" And I think he was just showing me, you're going to get one and you're going to do it. Like, I'm just showing you. I'm just showing you what you're going to do. I'm not saying, you should do it. I'm showing you what you're going to do. So that's how it could have been. And again, he could change everything up and give me peace and then just present me with a dog. I don't know. It doesn't seem that way, but I don't know. But yeah, I got him on 11/11. So May 14th, July 4th, 11/11. These things that I'm seeing, these timestamps are happening on very significant dates. These timestamps. So come on, guys. Like, that's what this is. This is from God. He's giving us snapshots, glimpses, timestamps. And that's important because now at least we have something to hold on to say we're in and around the right time. So yeah, hold on to that. Hope that blessed you and encouraged you guys. And I'll put the link to that hourly watch video in the pinned comments at the top. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. And I hopefully will see you in the air. If not, I'll talk to you again in the next video. Until next time, God bless and shalom.